Good evening, everybody. I'm Phillip, and today I'm refuting the claim, which is fast food restaurants have made the children of America obese. My advocates supporting claims are: number one, child obesity has become a huge issue in the United States. Number two, fast food restaurants encourage poor eating habits by offering rewards to customers. And lastly, number three, fast food has become the main food source for many households. After doing significant research, I have concluded that this claim should be dismissed. There are two reasons why. First one, the advocate has failed to provide relevant information to support her supporting claims. And number two, the advocate's claim is an insufficient cause to produce the effect. Going back to my first point, the advocate has failed to provide relevant information to support her supporting claim. On her first supporting claim, which is obesity has become a huge issue in the United States. This is indeed true. However, this doesn't advance her major claim. This is just a general and background information. On her second supporting claim, which is fast food restaurants encourage poor eating habits by offering rewards to customers. The advocate provided data about how fast food restaurants entice children with toys. However, she did not provide statistical data showing how children responded to it. The advocate gave examples of fast food restaurants that provide toys for value meals, like how McDonald's used Slinky's toys and also how Burger King used Zuzu Pets. There was no statistical data on how these toys impacted children's eating habits. According to the advocate, billions of dollars are spent each year on fast food advertising directed at kids. She also stated that every couple of weeks, these fast food chains change the toys they are giving away so that there is a variety so that kids keep coming back for them. Once again, there was no statistical data given on how the amount of money spent on fast food ads affect the rate of kids going to fast food chains, or statistical data on how many kids do come back for these toys. On her third supporting claim, which is fast food has become the main food source for many households, the advocate provided several information about the effects of eating fast food, but none about why children actually go to these restaurants. She also stated that for busy parents, this is a much simpler solution compared to making a home-cooked meal. This bit of information actually contradicts her claim, because instead of pointing the finger at fast food restaurants, she actually blames the parents themselves. Going to my second reason, the advocate's claim is an insufficient cause to produce the effect. Fast food restaurants are not big enough of a factor to cause every child obese. There are several other factors that contribute just as much or even more to the issue of child obesity. According to the American Heart Association, lack of physical activity, parents, sedentary lifestyle, schools, and the economy are very important factors that have a critical effect on child obesity. So therefore, fast food restaurants are not to be blamed for this issue. For example, lack of physical activity. Physical activity is a useful tool to promote weight loss and maintain weight. Unfortunately, adults and children do not get enough. The American Heart Association suggests that children to the age of 17 should get at least 60 minutes of exercise every day. Unfortunately, 1/3 of students in grades 9 through 12 do not get the recommended levels of physical activity. Also, parents are also an important factor. If parents are unhealthy children, if parents are unhealthy, children are likely to be unhealthy as well. Children's eating and physical activity habits resemble their parents. According to the same source, which is American Heart Association, children of two active parents may be nearly 6 times more likely to be physically active than children with sedentary parents. So in conclusion, because the speaker did not provide sufficient information to prove that fast food restaurants are to be blamed for child obesity, and because there are several other critical factors that affect child obesity, and fast food restaurants are not a sufficient cause to have this effect, the advocate's claim should be dismissed. Thank you.
All right, well, you've kind of got your own counter structure that you're arguing, and then you've got the advocate structure kind of plugged into that, and that was a little bit confusing, although I could follow most of the points, but it did seem like you were going to be repeating yourself in a couple of spots, and you want to be careful about that. I thought that you basically, on the first point that the advocate presented, you accept that issue is true. That's just background information. There's no real reason to dispute that. The notion that the fast food companies encourage this, I thought that you had some reasonable challenges on the advocate's evidence or the lack of evidence on this particular point. I don't see any counter evidence on this point, and this might be a place, since you developed counter causality on the other point, I think that this might be a place where you could refer to some of the counter causality. In other words, is it the fact that the kids get toys at McDonald's, or is it the fact that their parents don't have enough time to prepare meals at home, or they lead these lifestyles themselves that produces those problems? I think that might be a relatively important challenge to make there. When you remind us of what the amount of money is that is spent by the fast food industry on trying to get kids to eat and those sorts of things, I understand your goal here is to point out that that doesn't prove this particular link. On the other hand, the very fact that they're spending the money in trying to attract the kids does suggest that there may in fact be a link. So I'm not sure that it gets you as much to challenge that as the way you should. I think the third point that you're developing on this point, you point out that the advocate seems to be contradicting themselves, and this in fact becomes your second issue on causality, and you basically develop several counter-causality arguments here that you present, and I thought that they were all relatively well developed and argued, and that you have a good explanation about why blaming the fast food companies is perhaps an inadequate way to explain what's going on here. All right, thank you.